two Americas exist side by side. In one, penthouses sell for millions. In the other, families call parking lots home. This isn't a tale of two cities. It's happening in every major city across our nation. And here's what might shock you. 40% of America's homeless population has a job. They're the barista who served your coffee this morning, the security guard who welcomed you to work, the retail worker who helped you last weekend. Let's break down why this crisis is growing. Number 10. San Francisco. San Francisco, famed for its Golden Gate Bridge, vibrant cultural neighborhoods, and tech industry, stands as a symbol of prosperity. Yet, a severe homelessness crisis reveals a striking economic disparity within the city. With 7,082 homeless individuals, San Francisco ranks 10th in the U.S. for homelessness, a crisis largely attributed to soaring housing costs and the astronomical cost of living. The tech boom has driven housing prices up, with median home values often exceeding $1 million, leaving many unable to secure basic housing. This high cost of living affects even middle-income residents, and while some benefit immensely from Silicon Valley's wealth, others find themselves priced out of stable housing. The contrast is stark. Affluent areas neighbor regions where homelessness is visible on the streets, highlighting an urgent need for systemic solutions. Those experiencing homelessness in San Francisco often face complex challenges, including mental health issues, lack of access to affordable health care, and a shortage of shelters. Local organizations work tirelessly to provide support, but the demand exceeds supply. Mental health services and housing initiatives struggle with limited resources, making the path out of homelessness difficult for many. The city's homelessness problem sheds light on a broader issue: the high cost of living, income disparity, and insufficient social services. With its unique standing as both a hub of innovation and a city with a deepening social divide, San Francisco highlights the complexities in balancing economic growth with inclusive social policies. Number 9. Sacramento. Sacramento, California's capital, is celebrated for its historical importance, government presence, and beautiful landscapes. However, it also grapples with a homelessness crisis, with around 9,281 individuals experiencing homelessness. Sacramento's homeless population ranks it 9th in the U.S., reflecting a statewide issue in California. Although generally more affordable than cities like San Francisco, Sacramento still faces rising housing costs driven by increasing demand and limited availability. As more people seek affordable options within the state, Sacramento's housing market is becoming strained, with rental prices climbing and affordable housing options remaining scarce. This shortage disproportionately affects low-income families, forcing some to live on the streets or in temporary shelters. Those experiencing homelessness often encounter additional barriers, including limited access to mental health services and addiction support, complicating their path to stable housing. The city government and local nonprofits are actively working to alleviate the situation, implementing temporary shelters and emergency services for those in need. However, while these efforts provide immediate relief, they fall short of addressing the root causes of homelessness. The limited availability of affordable housing and social services remains a persistent obstacle. Sacramento's situation mirrors broader struggles in California, where high costs of living, housing shortages, and social support challenges make homelessness a complex issue that is not easily solved. Number 8. Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona, known for its stunning desert landscapes and iconic sites like the Desert Botanical Garden, ranks 8th in the U.S. for homelessness, with an estimated 9,642 homeless individuals. Although Phoenix has long been an affordable destination, a recent surge in population and investment has driven home prices and rents to levels many residents can no longer afford. The rapid influx of new residents has exacerbated housing shortages, pushing low-income residents to the margins as property values climb. Compounding this, Phoenix faces an opioid epidemic, with fentanyl overdoses reported daily. This public health crisis further complicates efforts to support those experiencing homelessness, as addiction and mental health issues become intertwined with housing challenges. Local and state organizations are working to combat these issues, focusing on affordable housing initiatives and addiction recovery programs. However, Demand for support exceeds available resources, leaving many without the help they need. Community advocates stress the need for a holistic approach to Phoenix's homelessness crisis, one that includes affordable housing, addiction treatment, and mental health services. The current situation underscores a pressing need for policies that address both economic pressures and public health to create a stable environment for all residents. Number 7. Oakland. Oakland, located just across the bay from San Francisco, is a city with rich cultural diversity, a thriving art scene, and a bustling port. However, it also faces a homelessness crisis, with approximately 9,759 individuals lacking stable housing, ranking it 7th in the U.S. The city's proximity to San Francisco and Silicon Valley has made it an attractive option for many residents, driving up housing costs and intensifying the competitive rental market. As a result, Oakland's homeless population has grown, with visible encampments in areas like East Oakland and near the city's freeway underpasses. This economic divide is evident in neighborhoods like Piedmont, where luxury homes contrast starkly with tent communities, emphasizing the deepening gap between the city's affluent and those struggling to survive. Property managers report that potential renters are often shocked by the visible homelessness, further complicating the leasing process. Local government initiatives focus on expanding affordable housing and enhancing access to shelters, yet limited funding and logistical hurdles make progress slow. Oakland's homelessness crisis reflects a broader issue in California, where high housing costs, rising rents, and a lack of support services leave many vulnerable. Addressing this crisis requires comprehensive, community-based solutions that ensure housing affordability and social services for all. Number 6. San Jose. San Jose, the heart of Silicon Valley, epitomizes the wealth generated by the tech industry, with global companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook headquartered nearby. Despite this affluence, San Jose faces a severe homelessness crisis, with approximately 9,903 people lacking stable housing, ranking it 6th in the U.S. The city's housing market is one of the most expensive in the country, with median home prices often exceeding $1 million. While tech workers earn high salaries, essential service workers, such as teachers, healthcare professionals, and public employees, struggle to afford even basic housing. Some commute long distances to avoid the area's high costs, while others find themselves without permanent shelter. The disparity in income levels highlights the challenges lower-income residents face, often finding themselves displaced by the tech boom's influence on the housing market. Local government efforts have included temporary shelters and affordable housing projects. Number 5. Denver. Denver, Colorado, known for its stunning Rocky Mountain views and active lifestyle, is a city beloved by both residents and visitors. However, beneath its charm lies a homelessness crisis, with 10,054 people currently without stable housing, making it 5th in the U.S. Housing costs in Denver have soared, fueled by a growing population and a limited housing supply. The state faces the 7th largest housing shortage in the country, with a deficit nearing 70,000 units. This scarcity has driven up rents and property values, making it challenging for many residents to afford housing. Denver's homeless population includes families, individuals, and veterans who struggle with economic hardships, addiction, and mental health issues. Local advocates emphasize that solutions to homelessness in Denver must include a strong focus on affordable housing and mental health resources. Without access to stable housing and health services, many individuals find it difficult to transition out of homelessness. Efforts are underway to address these needs, with city programs aimed at building affordable housing units and expanding temporary shelters. However, Denver's rapid growth complicates these efforts, as demand for housing and resources often outpaces the city's ability to provide them. Denver's situation underscores the challenge of managing urban growth while ensuring access to essential services, highlighting the need for policies that promote both economic development and social support. Number 4. San Diego. San Diego, a city famous for its beautiful beaches, sunny weather, and vibrant tourism, also faces a significant homelessness issue, with about 10,264 individuals living without permanent shelter. The cost of living in San Diego is high, and the city's popularity as a tourist destination has driven up housing prices, making it unaffordable for many long-term residents. The city's homeless population includes people from a variety of backgrounds, such as Tracy Bennett, a 54-year-old who has been homeless for 7 years. Like many others, she struggles with frequent relocations as city officials clear sidewalk encampments, often moving from one temporary shelter to another. For residents like Tracy, these forced moves only add to their hardships, highlighting the lack of sustainable solutions addressing affordable housing and mental health care. San Diego's local government and nonprofits are working to provide resources, such as temporary shelters and supportive housing, to help the homeless population. However, the city's resources are stretched thin, and the demand for housing far exceeds availability. The visible presence of homelessness in San Diego contrasts sharply with its image as a coastal paradise, revealing the urgent need for a comprehensive approach that not only addresses housing but also provides supportive services, making it a pressing humanitarian issue. Number 3. Seattle. Seattle, Washington, a bustling tech hub with headquarters for major companies like Amazon and Microsoft, is a city of contrasts. Despite its economic success, Seattle has the third largest homeless population in the U.S., with approximately 14,449 people lacking stable housing. Seattle's booming economy has led to skyrocketing property values, and affordable housing has become scarce, pushing lower-income residents out of their homes. This homelessness crisis is made more complex by a lack of mental health and addiction services. Many homeless individuals, like Cara Bernstein, find shelter in encampments such as The Jungle, a community beneath the highways that offers a sense of safety but presents dangerous living conditions. Cara's experience reflects the desperation of many who struggle to find stability in a city where housing is out of reach for many. The Seattle government has made efforts to expand affordable housing and temporary shelters, but the influence of the tech industry on the housing market continues to pose challenges. The stark contrast between Seattle's affluent neighborhoods and its homeless encampments emphasizes the need for long-term, comprehensive solutions that combine affordable housing with mental health and social services, ensuring a more inclusive future for all residents. Number 2. Los Angeles. Los Angeles, often seen as the glamorous entertainment capital of the world, also faces one of the most severe homelessness crises in the U.S., with a staggering 71,320 homeless individuals. The city ranks second in the nation for homelessness, reflecting a growing crisis in California's largest urban centers. While LA is known for its wealth and celebrity culture, the high cost of living has forced many residents into dire situations. Skid Row, a downtown area notorious for its homelessness, is lined with tents and makeshift shelters where many individuals live in precarious conditions. Some residents, unable to find affordable housing, draw power from streetlights to meet basic needs, highlighting the lengths people go to survive. Despite city efforts to house nearly 60,000 homeless people, many prefer independence, choosing to stay on the streets rather than enter temporary shelters. LA's homelessness problem is further complicated by gang violence, particularly in neighborhoods like South LA, where decades of conflict create unsafe environments. The stark divide between wealth and poverty in Los Angeles underscores the urgent need for affordable housing and community safety initiatives. The city's challenges illustrate how the high cost of living, social issues, and limited resources converge, creating a multifaceted crisis. Number 1. New York City. New York City, often seen as a symbol of opportunity and resilience, holds the unfortunate distinction of having the largest homeless population in the U.S., with over 88,000 people experiencing homelessness. Known globally as the Big Apple, New York faces a severe crisis intensified by a recent influx of immigrants from countries like Venezuela, Madagascar, and Chad. This has placed a strain on the city's already burdened shelter system. New York is legally obligated to provide accommodation to those in need, but with nearly 100,000 migrants arriving in the past year alone, resources are stretched thin. The city's shelter system, which includes emergency hotels and temporary facilities, is struggling to keep up. Some homeless individuals are forced to sleep outside intake centers like the Roosevelt Hotel, waiting for a place in the overburdened system. The crisis has drawn national attention as New York seeks support to address the humanitarian needs of its homeless and immigrant populations. With limited federal and state assistance, the city faces a daunting task. New York's homelessness crisis not only impacts its image as a global city, but also underscores the need for sustainable housing solutions that support both locals and newcomers, ensuring a more secure future for everyone.